Before I get started, I've got my timer here, my 10-minute timer. So hey, because Cubans talk a lot, and I happen to be Cuban, and I can talk 100 miles a minute, and I'm going to cover a lot of info in 10 minutes, hopefully. But first, I just want to say thank you. Doug Hay, my friend right here in the brown coat, is the one who really made this happen. I had no idea there was a residency here, and so I'm glad that I applied. I'm honored that I was selected. I can tell you how much I've enjoyed it. The place is amazing. Sheridan is gorgeous. The snow, the animals, I mean, it's just been amazing. And then to have a lady like Nelchi do something like this, what a big heart. You know, I wish I could have met her to provide something for us like this. The gorgeous home that she has. I mean, the place we're staying in is unbelievable. The studios are amazing. I mean, the whole thing is amazing. So thank you so much. Okay, we're going to get started with the first slide. So my life begins in Havana, Cuba. I was born in Havana. I'm a Cuban-American abstract expressionist. And so in 1959, the Communist Party took over the island and literally destroyed Cuba, in my opinion. By 1964, my family, everything had been stolen from us. My father had a factory in Santiago for 33 years, and it was taken in our home and everything else. And so then we were not going to become part of the communist regime, and so my father chose to leave. But what's so wonderful about that experience that I learned very quickly that the important things in life had nothing to do with material things. It was really about our freedom and getting away. And so we left in a boat, and we came to, landed in Key West. And then from Key West, we migrated over to Miami, where I grew up as a child. This first painting here depicts that experience. This is called Now What? And this is a campesino, which he's escaping, because you cannot leave the island, you know, whenever you wanted to. You were in a prison situation. The eye of God watching over him. They escape at night, usually on rafts and pieces of wood or whatever. Many, many Cubans have drowned in that ocean. It's deep ocean. And then if you'll notice closely, there's a clock where all the numbers have fallen off, and so it represents that Cuba came to a halt in 1959. The next painting is the campesino again, who comes and works for hours in the sugarcane fields, and he doesn't make any money or anything because the government, the communist government, takes it all. So they're like kind of like slaves. So he's trapped by the machetes that he uses in the field while he's working. The third work is called the Forbidden Fruit series. And for the longest time, I could not return to Cuba. We didn't have any communication or really any way to go back. And that was really frustrating to me because it's this gorgeous tropical island, very luscious and sensual. And that, in other words, you know, I could not have the forbidden fruit situation. My mother, I want to let you know real quickly, my mother was manic depressive schizophrenic. My father died about 6 months after we arrived. She had a full nervous breakdown and never recovered from that. So she was manic depressive schizophrenic, and it was difficult. And the reason why I share that is that hopefully you'll see some of the pain or whatever in some of the work, you know, like some of the pieces I just showed you, where I connect with people that are struggling and the stuff that they go through. I began to paint live about 25, 30 years ago to raise money for the poor in Honduras. And so when that took place, it was my first time to be in front of an audience, and it's very, very different from painting in your studio. And I freaked out, but somehow I was able to create a work of art in front of 300 people at a civic center with a concert pianist named Gustavo Tolosa from Argentina. When I experienced that, a year later, I decided to build my own theater, and I built a theater in Dallas that seats 100, and it's also my studio. And then I began a performance called Euphoria Live with a composer-pianist named Seth Simmons. And Seth and I have been able to do the Euphoria performance for over 20 years now in many places. It began to grow, and then I was able to do that performance nationally, internationally. From that experience, and I began to you know, connect with celebrities, and I was able to paint live with great celebrities, you know, through the years, Amy Grant and Jose Feliciano, George Winston, and the hand transfer, and a million others. And so that opened up a lot of doors as that began to grow. Here I'm painting with the symphony in Dallas, and then I began to do fundraisers. So it's just been great. I got to do 3 events with Lady Bush, and I painted for President Bush when he stepped down from the presidency many years ago for a 500-seat dinner in Lubbock. These paintings have all been done live. The first one is with another performance that I do with a jazz saxophonist named David Carr Jr. These paintings have been done in 1 hour. And the reason why I mention that is that I got to a point where I had to really learn everything that I learned compacted to be able to create something in 1 hour that I felt I could sign and I was proud of. The painting on the right is 4 by 5 feet. That was done, it's called Hold Me. That was done during a Valentine's performance with Euphoria Live. The one next to it was done with Edgar Winter on stage. You know, Edgar did "Come on and take a free ride." Anyway, it's called Free Ride. And Edgar has albino white hair, which I did not know when I was speaking to him backstage. And I said to him, "You have the most amazing hair." And he goes, "Dude, I'm an albino," but I didn't know that. So a kind of embarrassing situation, but he was great. The next one was a corporate event that I got to do for Southwest Airlines when they were initiating a bunch of pilots. And then this one here was done with David Carr Jr., the saxophonist. I got to go to New York right after 9/11, and I volunteered at Nino's, the restaurant that hosted the firemen, the policemen, going to Ground Zero. I worked for about 9 hours in that space, and I was very, very moved by that experience as I heard the stories of these men. And so when I got back, I did a giant piece. This is a very large work called Angel Tears. It has one angel with a tear. It has a three-dimensional halo done in glass. And then you can see that the other tears are putting out Ground Zero. The fire in New York. So that was a very, very emotional time in New York. I was blown away by it. So I have a compassion for the poor, probably from the same experience that I wish the paintings were more accurate. They're a little bit too bright. The real paintings are a lot deeper than this, but I have a connection with the poor, probably from the same experience that we had, when we lost everything. And so this is a peasant woman with a piece of bread. I did some of these paintings that have been done 20-some years ago. The next painting is called Hobo in the City. And I live right by the Dallas Foundation, Dallas Life Foundation, and the bridge. So I'm around homeless people constantly. And this particular piece is in one of the shelters that helps the homeless in Dallas. I also get to do some sculpture. I don't consider myself a sculptor. I'm really a painter because I feel like I haven't paid my dues. But I have done really quite a few mixed media pieces. The one on the right is a continuum of the Forbidden Fruit series, as you can see. The one on the left is called Eve, and the top of the snake is a jewel, because women are usually enticed by jewelry. And then, of course, the fruits representing the garden, the leaf and the tummy represent the garden again, and then the stone on the bottom that crushes the snake. I've been able to do some mixed media. I mentioned in the write-up about mixed media paintings. These two paintings are mixed media, so there's things that are pasted on, And I've done a lot of mixed media through the years, but I'm really mostly a painter, not so much leaning on the mixed media end, but I wanted to show these just so that you could see them. I'm about to do a show at the Biblical Arts Museum. I've been fortunate to have shows at the Wiseman Museum in Malibu and the Latin American Museum of Fine Art in LA, the Grace Museum, the National Sculpture Garden. And this show will open up in a few weeks. As soon as I get back, I jump on this. It will feature the 4 horses of Revelation. These paintings are 9 feet by 6 feet. They're huge. And so the 4 horses from Revelation 6 will be featured. I also have a gallery show that opens up at a new gallery, Jill Barnett, in Waco. And these are paintings that will be part of that show. These are different series. The Paloma Blanca series on the left and the one on the right, all the way on the right, has to do with the idea, can we really reach peace and purity? So every one of these figures is holding a dove representing peace and purity. And I'm a believer, and I believe the only way to achieve this is through the Christ, personally. But it's a very difficult thing to do to actually achieve peace and purity in our lives. These are the last pieces that I wanted to show you, and these two were created here. One is a horse. I know some of you will wonder if that's a horse, but I'm telling you, that is a horse. On the left-hand side right here, there's a horse. And then the one on the right, it's a scenery piece representing the mountains and the scenery here in Sheridan. I've been able to do 16 works so far while I've been here, and I'm hoping to be able to do 16 more before I get out. So thank you so much for letting me come and be a part of this program. It's been truly amazing for me, so I don't know if you have any questions. That's an interesting question because it depends on the situation. When I'm just performing for the pure pleasure of performing, then I create something that's totally whatever I'm feeling. I am in the space of the musician. Imagine being on the stage with these famous men that I've heard these songs all my life, and now I get to be on stage with them during that moment. So I'm influenced by that music, and then I create something at the moment that I feel, that I'm being moved by. There's no pre-sketching or anything. It just happens at the moment. And I don't know exactly what songs they're going to play or they're going to do. So that's an interesting relationship between me and the artist, but it's really more about myself. When I do a corporate event, then that's different because it depends on I'm there to raise money. So many times I do a painting in connection to whatever the organization is about. I try to research that, and then I try to create something in that area. But it depends also because I'm trying to sell that painting, and many times people don't want to buy a painting to put on the wall that has a corporate type deal. So I let that organization decide whether I can just create something that's beautiful that will go on a wall, or if they want me to go in the direction of the theme. So the audience obviously will be connected to that organization. Mm-hmm. Yes, Natalie. You know, I've told people, this is before he began to paint, and that day he spoke about how he selected the paintings for the Oval Office. I didn't realize they had a choice and all that. They get to choose the desk, they get to choose, I think, the drapery, and they get to put on the walls what they want. And he talked about having a painting in front of him that has a cowboy going over a hill, and it's called New Day. So every day he sat in the office, he would look at the painting, I'm sure with the pressures of everything, and he'd go, hey, today's a brand new day, But in the program, he was very kind. Actually, I didn't have a lot of time with him. And he spoke about that. And then I painted a painting that went to the University of Lubbock, University that's in one of the places there in the university. That's where the painting went to. But I laugh because I say to people, well, the only reason why, of course, why Bush began to paint is because of the influence of that night. Absolutely. Oh, okay, only 2 questions. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Okay.
So you have created 16 pieces since you've been here?
Yes.
A week and a half, 2 weeks?
Yeah, we've been here, I don't know, about 12 days. 16, 1-6. Yeah, 1-6. Yeah, I wish it was 60. But yeah, I work fast. Here's what's so interesting about what I learned. I mean, I'm a serious studio painter, okay? I don't want you to understand. I do not consider myself a performance artist, okay? I don't want to be in that category because I feel it cheapens my work to a certain degree for my collectors, and I have serious collectors, that have invested in me and, bought many things from me, and so I want to keep the status of that. But this experience 25 years ago when I began, man, sometimes I create something, I have 1 hour, and I have to focus in that hour. And I've gotten to the point, when I was playing with a symphony with 4,000 people there, you could have 50 million people in there. I am in my space. I don't even care about all these people that are around me because I only have 1 hour. But I have learned so much from that experience, and it gives me sometimes such fresh paintings. I put a stroke down, and I've learned to leave it. Don't touch it, Ro. It's good, just the way it is. And so sometimes the paintings turn out extremely strong, compared to a painting that I spent 2 weeks in the studio. So, thank you.